Hey everyone, welcome to part 5 of the Gravity Colors Eleanor project. Last time I left you, I clear coated the car after I got the stripes on and all that, and this is how it came out. Now I've already polished the roof a little bit, so we're good there. I need to do the hood. We got a little bit of trash in the hood in some areas. So I'm going to go ahead and polish that. Now, like I did in my other video with the MP430, the McLaren, polishing is not difficult to do. Is it a necessity? I think it is. That's my personal preference. So basically what I'm going to do is show you guys how to do it the same method I did with the MP430. We're going to start with the hood. I'm going to move it out of the way here. And I'm also going to put a towel down here on my working surface just so I don't get everything all wet. Now, this is 2000 over here in clean water. 2000 grit 3M paper. That's what I use to polish with. Now, of course, I don't really polish with this. I sand with this, literally. 2000 or finer is the way you got to go, but I find 2000 is all you need. Like I said, a lot of people use polishing kits, and hey, I have no problem with that. They work well for a lot of people, but for me, I don't need to go through a series of polishing grits to get the finish I want, when I can use one grit and then have the Gravity Colors polishing compound system do the rest. You've got a number 1, a number 2, and a 3, followed by a protective synthetic wax. That's what I use all the time. And I love the number 1. This stuff is great. So basically what you do is I take the 2000 grit, and we're going to do the hood today. Like I said, I'm going to do a little spot on it just to show you guys how it goes. Now, this piece right here, okay, right across here, it's got a little bit of orange peel, just a little bit right there. And we're going to go ahead and get that smoothed out with the 2000, and then we're going to buff it out. So we'll do a piece of the hood so you guys know how to do it. Now remember, backwards and forwards or side to side. Don't ever do a circular motion when you're using the paper. So when you're sanding the clear coat, front to back or side to side only. You can do circular motions once you get into the compounds over here. So starting here, with the wet water 2000 grit, you just go back and forth here like this. And you're going to stop periodically to check your work. Now you don't have to dig in. You just let the weight of the paper and the abrasive piece of the paper do the work. Staying away from any high spots like this ridge on the center. You want to stay away from that. And you just go back and forth with it. Every once in a while you stop, you dry it off with a nice clean cloth, and you'll see here. See how it's flat? That's what you want, a uniform flat finish. If you still got some glossy areas in there, it's because you got some low spots. And that's what this is good for, is getting rid of the low and the high spots. So there we go. See how that's nice and flat? And that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. Stop there. Don't keep doing it, because if you keep polishing with 2000, eventually you will go through the clear coat. Even the 2-part urethane clears, you can burn through them. So now we've got this flat here the way we want. We're going to bring back the shine now. Okay, to bring back the shine, we're going to use the Gravity Colors compound system. So we're going to start with number 1. You put a little dab of it on a cloth. Grab it out of here like this. You don't want too much. You don't need a ton of it, because it'll get in all the nooks and crannies and turn it all white. So you want to try to keep it as clean as possible, as light as possible. I got a little bit on the rag here, and then you just go in a circular motion across here. Now you're going to want to use a little bit of elbow grease. You can go back and forth, but a circular motion is best with the compounds. I said, a circular motion. You just keep buffing it out. Very difficult to burn through. Unless you got real thin with the 2000 on the clear, you should be fine. It should not burn through anywhere. You want to pay special attention to the edges, because that's where they get missed. You'll get the center nice, and then the edges you won't get. So you got to sit here and just keep buffing it out and using a little bit of elbow grease back and forth in a circular pattern. You go any direction, any pattern you want with the compounds. It's just a 2000. When you sand, you have to go front to back or side to side. It's the rule. It's not the rule. It's actually just the way it is. You have to. Look at that already. Now you can see, if I go across it, that the side I did is much smoother. This side still has a little bit of orange peel, and that's what I'm getting rid of. Even if I have a paint job, guys, that's perfectly clean, has no trash in the clear. Trash is any kind of dust that might gets trapped in your... It's inevitable. It'll happen unless you guys have a surgically, clean, full-size spray booth to spray in, which I don't for real cars. You're going to get trash. So this will get that out. And look how beautiful that is. But you see there's still orange peel a little bit on the front hood. A lot of people will say, well, gee, Dave, that's fine with me. I like my finishes to be like mirrors. I'm just that way. That's why I polish. So once you're done with this, actually I'm going to do one more shot with this, number 1. Then you move on to the number 2 and the number 3. So you buff this out. This time it'll come out like a mirror with number 1. You could actually get away with just using number 1. That's how nice this compound is from Gravity Colors. It does get rid of all of the haziness and the sanding marks that the 2000 leaves behind. And that's what you're doing, is bringing the finish back. Everybody says, can you use Gravity compound on other paints? Of course you can. But you better be careful, because you might burn through. This is why I use 2-part urethane clear, because of the durability and being able to do that right there. That's just compound number 1. So let me bottle this up real quick. We'll move on to number 2, which is the fine grade polishing compound. The green was the coarse grade. Coarse grade meaning, hey, that's going to get rid of most of your scratches. I've got a little bit of this stuff swimming in the cap, so we'll just grab it. They're all different colors too. The coarse grade is blue. The fine grade is a gray color, and then of course your finish grade is blue. So again, same principle. We're going to get on this side right here by the hood. We're going to rub it back and forth in a circular pattern, just like you're waxing your car. And this gets rid of any haze or residual coat left from the number 1 polishing compound. And you don't have to do this for that long. This really does a nice job. And you just buff it off. And again, you can see that. Look at that finish now. It is virtually perfect. So now what we're going to do, let's go on to step 3, which is this is called the finish grade compound. It's really not hard to do this, guys, but the results are worth it. It is a little bit time consuming, yes. And I like to do a panel at a time. I don't just do the whole hood. I do an area at a time. Even on the body, I'll tackle like the fender, the door, the quarter panel. Then I'll move to the roof. Usually I do the roof first. The trunk, and the other side of the car, fender, quarter panel, and door. Again, you don't have to go far with this. You just want to get it nice and smooth, which it already is. And when you're done with that, you buff that off. And look at that. Like a mirror. That's what you want. Like I said, see how smooth this is? And how this still has a little bit of slight orange peel to it? High and low spots are in here from the spray gun. Same with the front. You've got a little bit of here and a little bit there. I'll get all that out. Now, as a protective coat, you can use the Gravity Synthetic Wax. And this stuff is pink, obviously. It looks like Pepto-Bismol a little bit. And I'll just rub across that area. And I'll buff that off. And that's all there is to it. Again, I'll tackle this side, and this side, and the edges here. And then the hood will be done, and I'll move on to the other parts of the body. But that's how I polish. 2000 grit, the Gravity Colors 3-step system, and the synthetic wax. You can't go wrong with it. And Eleanor is coming to life. Now, in my next video, I'm actually going to put the body aside, and I'm going to start in the chassis and the interior. And like I have to say, I'm limited to how much time I can spend per session of the videos. So I'm going to tackle a lot of the highlights. A lot of things that you guys see that I've done will already be done on the interior and the chassis detail, but I will describe what I did. I want to modify the suspension on the car to make it more like the Eleanor car. And of course, the interior is going to have the Go Baby button on the shifter, the nitrous switch, all that stuff. I'm going to try to basically emulate the entire car to scale in 1/24. So, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video useful as far as polishing. This is how I polish all my cars, and we'll see you next time.